To solve this data sufficiency question, we'll go ahead and consider each statement separately first and then together if needed. Before diving into the statement, let's take a look at what the question is actually asking. We're asked whether the triangle above is a right triangle, so RST. Now we might be tempted just to draw a 90 degrees in here and call that a right triangle because it looks like a right triangle. But remember, if that little square here indicating a 90 degrees is not here, we can't automatically assume that it's a right triangle. So let's go ahead and let's dive into our statements alone. We'll take a look at statement 1 first. And I'm just going to do that over here just for room. Now for statement 1, we're told that in an xy plane, R has coordinates 1, 5, and S has coordinates 7, 5. So let's go ahead and let's draw the xy coordinate plane and plot our points that we know. Oops. That doesn't have to be a perfect graph. But we do want to label our axes. And we have that R has coordinates 1, 5, so let's label this guy as a 1, and we're going up to 5 here. And we go over to S has coordinates, that's okay. S has coordinates 7, 5. So this means that we know for a fact that both of these lie across have y coordinate here of 5. We don't know where T lies, so let's just label this guy as R and this guy as S so we don't forget which is which. The issue would be here if this line right here would be a 90 degrees, would form a 90-degree angle. Now we would only be able to guarantee that if the x value here for T is 7, right? In which case, if it is, then we'll be able to go ahead and say that that's 90 degrees. But we're not told whether T has an x value of 7 or not. So this is not enough information to determine whether this is a right triangle or not. And the triangle being formed depending on wherever T is. So if T had an x coordinate of 7, we would be able to then conclude that this is a right triangle. But since we don't really know whether it has an x coordinate of 7, 8, 9, 2 even, we cannot definitely conclude that. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient, and we can eliminate answer choice A and D. That leaves us with B, C, or E, so we're going to go ahead and consider statement 2. We'll do a similar kind of thing with diagramming statement 2. So here we're told that in an xy plane, S has coordinates 7, 5, and T has coordinates 7, 1. So let's go ahead and let's draw our xy plane again. And label our axes. So here we have that S is 7, 5. And T has coordinates 7, 1. So kind of in a similar manner as to last time, but actually flipped, we know that this vertical line is straight up and down for this point because they have the same x coordinate. But again, last time we had an issue with T, now we don't know where R is because statement 2 alone doesn't tell us any information about R. So if R had a y coordinate of 5, so some x value, but the y coordinate is 5, then we would be able to conclude that this would be a straight line across, this would be a right triangle, because those would be 90 degrees in between them. But we actually don't know whether that's true or not, since we're not given any information about R for statement 2 alone. So this statement alone is not sufficient, and we can eliminate answer choice B. Now we have to go ahead and combine the two statements. So let's go ahead and clear our board. And we'll go ahead and combine both statements. So statement 1 and statement 2 together. Now we're given all of this information for an xy plane, so again, we'll map it. So drawing our coordinates here, labeling our axes. We have R is located at 1, 5. And let's label that. We have S is at 7, 5, so we can label that. And T is at 7, 1, so we can go ahead and label that. Now thinking about our S and our T, they both have x coordinates of 7, so we do know that they are straight up and down. And we both have that R and S has y coordinates of 5, so that would be a straight across line. And if this is completely horizontal and this is completely vertical, we can conclude that that's a 90-degree angle, forming our, ooh, that's rough, forming our right triangle here, the RST. So both of the statements together are sufficient, since we know that this line here would be horizontal and this would be vertical, and they would form a 90-degree angle. So our final answer choice is answer choice C. Both statements together are sufficient, and we can eliminate answer choice E as well.